Let me ask you something real quick. Your grandparents worked their whole lives. Your parents worked their whole lives. And right now, you're working your whole life. But somehow, the same financial problems keep showing up. The same stress, the same regret, the same "I wish I had started earlier" conversations. Generation after generation. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. And today, on Mason Explains Wealth, we're breaking that pattern. Because today, I'm going to show you the 3 financial mistakes that literally every generation repeats. Your grandparents made them. Your parents made them. And if you're not careful, you will make them too. But here's the thing. None of these mistakes are about being dumb. None of them. These are deeply psychological traps that the financial system actually depends on you falling into. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see money completely differently, and you're going to walk away with a real action plan for each one. Let's get into it. Before we start, real quick, if you're new here, this channel is about one thing: helping you understand wealth the way the wealthy actually understand it. Not theories, not fluff, real frameworks. Hit subscribe if that's what you're here for. All right, mistake number 1, trading more money for a bigger lifestyle instead of a bigger future. Here is a question I want you to sit with honestly. If you got a $1,000 raise tomorrow, where would that money actually go? If your honest answer involves a nicer apartment, a newer car, better restaurants, or more subscriptions, then you are about to make the exact same mistake every generation before you has made. It has a name. Economists call it lifestyle creep, and it is silent, seductive, and absolutely devastating to wealth building. Here's how it works. You're struggling at 22. Then you grind, you grow, you start earning more, and your brain naturally says, "You earned this. Reward yourself." And that feeling is not wrong. That's human. But what happens is that every single income increase gets immediately absorbed by a lifestyle upgrade. The salary doubles, the expenses double, and your actual financial progress stays exactly the same. Now here's the stat that should genuinely shock you. In 2025, Americans earning $100,000 a year are more likely to report living paycheck to paycheck than those earning $50,000. Read that again. 6-figure earners broke, not because they're lazy, because their lifestyle expanded faster than their wealth ever could. And it gets worse. A 2025 Goldman Sachs survey found that around 40% of Americans making more than $300,000 per year were living paycheck to paycheck. $300,000 a year. Paycheck to paycheck. This is not a poor people problem. This is a human problem, and every generation falls for it. Your grandparents got their first real job and upgraded everything. Your parents got their promotions and upgraded everything. The trap is always the same, because society keeps moving the finish line. The car that impressed people in 2010 looks basic in 2025. The apartment that felt luxurious at 25 feels average at 32. You keep upgrading just to feel like you're standing still relative to everyone around you. So here's the solution, and it's a specific one. Follow what I call the 50-40-10 income raise rule. Every single time your income increases, whether it's a raise, a bonus, a side income, anything, you split it like this. 50% goes straight to savings and investments, non-negotiable. Before you see it, before you touch it, it's gone into your future. 40%. Yes, 40%. You can actually enjoy. Upgrade something. Treat yourself. Live a little better. This isn't about deprivation. This is about being intentional. And 10% goes to your financial education, your skills, your growth, because the best investment you will ever make is the one that increases your earning power. That's it. That framework alone, applied consistently, is the difference between the person who earns $1 million over their career and has nothing to show for it, and the person who earns the same million and retires wealthy. The key phrase is, automate it before you can spend it. Set up an automatic transfer the same day your paycheck lands. Your future self cannot thank your present self if your present self already spent the money. Mistake 2, waiting until you're ready to invest and accidentally destroying your future. This one physically hurts me to talk about, because I've seen it ruin retirements. And the worst part is, the people who make this mistake are often the most financially responsible ones, the careful ones, the ones who want to understand everything perfectly before they start. They say, "I'll start investing when I'm more stable. I'll start when I have more to invest. I'll start when the market calms down." And by the time they feel ready, they've accidentally committed financial self-sabotage on a massive scale. Here is the reality of compounding that almost no one truly feels until it's too late. If you started saving just $100 per month at age 25, investing at a 10% average annual return, you'd retire at 65 with over $530,000. But if you waited until 45 to start, same $100 a month, you'd retire with just under $69,000. And to match what the early starter built, the late starter would have to invest nearly $800 per month instead of $100. 8 times more money every month, just because of a 20-year delay. That is the tax of waiting, and nobody talks about it like that. But that's exactly what it is. Fidelity ran a direct comparison. Two savers both invest $6,000 per year until age 67 at a 7% average return. The one who started at 25 retires with nearly $1.5 million. The one who started at just 30, 5 years later, retires with about $1 million. A $450,000 difference from just 5 years of hesitation, despite investing only $30,000 less total. 5 years, $450,000. Gone. And here is what makes this even more painful. Half of a retirement fund's entire growth happens in just the last 5 years of a 30-year investment journey. The tree grows slowly for decades, and then it explodes right at the end. But you have to plant it early to ever see that explosion. Most people wait so long they never experience that final surge. So here is the solution, with specific steps. Step 1. Start today with whatever you have. I don't care if it's $20 a month. The habit and the time in the market matter more than the amount right now. Open a low-cost index fund account. S&P 500 index funds have delivered an average return of around 10% annually over the long term. You don't need to pick stocks. You don't need to be an expert. You need to start. Step 2. Use the 1% increase strategy. If investing feels overwhelming, commit to just 1% of your income this month. Next month, increase it by another 1%. Do this every single month until you hit 15 to 20% of your income going into investments. You will barely feel each individual step, but the destination will absolutely transform your life. Step 3. Never stop. Market crashes, economic uncertainty, bad months. None of it matters if you have time on your side and you stay consistent. As Fidelity puts it, it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. That is not just a catchy phrase, that is a mathematical truth. The best time to plant this tree was the day you got your first paycheck. The second best time is right now, today, not Monday. Today. Mistake 3. Making financial decisions based on emotion and social comparison, not strategy. Okay, this is the one nobody wants to talk about, because it's not about spreadsheets or math. It's about something way more uncomfortable. It's about us, our psychology, our ego, our fear. Every generation makes money decisions driven by emotion and by what the people around them are doing, not by logic, not by a written plan. Think about what happens during a market crash. Stocks drop 30%, and people, smart, educated, rational people, panic sell at exactly the worst possible moment. They buy when the market is euphoric and expensive. They sell when the market is terrifying and cheap. They do the exact opposite of what builds wealth, and they do it because emotion hijacked their decision-making completely. According to the 2025 TIAA Institute GFLEC Personal Finance Index, just 36% of U.S. adults could correctly answer questions about financial risk, and that score is actually lower than it was back in 2017. Gen Z scored 32%, Gen X 37%, Millennials 36%, and Baby Boomers only 38%. Every single generation, misunderstanding risk, making emotional calls, and paying for it financially. But there's a second layer to this mistake that's even sneakier. It's social comparison. You see your colleague buy a new car. You see someone from school post vacation photos. You scroll through content showing watches, apartments, and passive income screenshots. And something happens in your brain. You start measuring your financial decisions not against your own goals, but against someone else's highlight reel. Financial advisors point out that professionals in their 30s and 40s often compare their lifestyle to their parents', completely forgetting that their parents actually built those lifestyles in their 50s and 60s, not their 30s and 40s. The comparison was never even accurate to begin with. You were losing a race that was never real. And here is the solution, the most important one of the three. You need to build what I call your financial North Star. A clear, written, deeply personal answer to three questions. Number one, what does your financial freedom actually look like? Not vague, specific. A number, a lifestyle, a date. Number two, why does it matter to you personally? Not because you saw it online, not because someone else has it. Why does your version of freedom matter to your life? Number three, what is the one financial decision you can make this month that moves you toward that number? When you have a financial North Star, every financial decision goes through that filter automatically. Not what will people think, not is the market scary right now, but does this move me toward my number or away from it? And on the emotion side, here are two specific rules to protect yourself. Rule 1. Never make a financial decision on the same day you feel strong emotion about it. Fear, excitement, jealousy, FOMO. All of these are expensive feelings. Sleep on it. Always. Rule 2. Set your investments on autopilot. Automate your monthly contributions so that market noise, bad headlines, and your own psychology can't interfere with the process. The investor who does nothing during a crash almost always outperforms the investor who reacts to it. Strategy beats emotion every single time, without exception. All right, let's land this plane. 3 mistakes, 3 generations, repeating on a loop. Mistake 1, letting your lifestyle swallow every income increase before your future self gets a single dollar of it. The fix, the 50-40-10 rule, automated from day 1. Mistake 2, waiting until you feel ready to invest and accidentally handing compound interest to someone else's future instead of yours. The fix, start today, start small, increase 1% every month, and never stop. Mistake 3, letting fear, ego, and social comparison drive your financial decisions instead of a clear personal strategy. The fix, build your financial North Star, automate your investments, and never make a major money decision on an emotional day. These 3 things, implemented consistently, will put you in a completely different financial position than the generation before you. Not because you're smarter, not because you got lucky, but because you saw the pattern, you understood the trap, and you chose differently. That is what Mason Explains Wealth is built for. If this video gave you something real today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because knowledge that stays in one person's head doesn't change much, but knowledge that spreads, that breaks cycles. I'm Mason. Go build something real, and I'll see you in the next one.